powered long neck angle grinder, bunch of numbers, complete with battery charger, good. 10.8 V volt lithium ion battery. I don't know what that means. Off grid and efficient. Liking that. Okay, so for cutting rough machining, grind steel, non-ferrous metals, ceramics with plastic. Special balanced power, quiet, long-lasting DC motor. That's good, because I gotta tell you, this other one I have stinks. I'll show you that in a second. Streamlined die-cast aluminum head. I'm gonna test this out today, and I will let you know. There's your speed. I'll let you know if it stinks or not. I'm hoping I can use the same fittings and all the fittings that I have, you know, these things, and I'll find out. French. Okay. Well, I guess I could lock it if I wanted to. So these are all the pieces and fittings that'll go with it. And I'll read this later. What does this say? Well, I don't look like that. Or that. It's in French. Devices are finer and smaller. Standard, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's why I got it. Alright. Let's see. Spacers. Here's the tool. I'm thinking these are going to fit, so I couldn't be happier, because I will show you in a second just how many grinding tools I have for this other piece. Let's see if it's got a charge. Yep. Okay, and it clicks on and off. There's no extra button. And I think that was one of the big problems with the Merlin 2. That extra button just caused nothing but grief for the manufacturer. And these are the parts that come with it. This is like a metal grinder. This is I think it's a metal wheel. Let's see what it says up here. Doesn't really tell me. Looks like that one. But let's take the battery out and see if my other ones will fit. So you hold this button down. That holds the gear from working. It would be so awesome if my other stuff worked. It looks very similar. Yeah. Okay, so let me put this aside. Go and plug in this charger. I'm going to make sure that this thing is topped off, this battery. So I'm going to plug that in and see what the indicating features are over there. It says charge, it says ready, so it's charging, so it was not at a full charge. But let's put this off to the side along with that and that. And we've had this for a while, and I've had to ship it back probably 3 times, maybe 4 times. So in comparison, first of all, it's corded, but this one is about the same length. We'll see about the power. I'm going to take that head off and compare the two. So hopefully they will fit. So there's the tool. But I have all of these 2-inch, these are 3-inch, but they'll work anyway. But I have all of these pieces that go with this Merlin too. You know, including a guard, but I think that one, yep, that one comes with a guard. But this kind of thing for getting into like areas like that burrow, I'll show you that later, if these fit. But all of these, I mean, I have tons of parts. Look at how many parts I got in there. So I'm going to take this off, see if this works with the other one. Okay, let's see. Yep. Okay. Pray it works. Seems to be working. Very happy about that. That is awesome. So now I am not throwing out all of these other parts. I have carbide, different varying carbide. This is a heavier duty carbide cutter. This is a medium one, and I got a green one in here. This one's really heavy duty. But these are all flat. I don't know if you can see that's flat, but I got one in here that's kind of got a rounded edge. I don't know if you can see how rounded that is. But you can get into areas and really cut out a lot of material. That's kind of a medium one. There's another one of these. I have no idea what they're called, but you can screw this in and then screw in like, well, not that one. That. This piece came with this threaded thing on it, but it just ripped off, so I had to revise it. Okay, so those, and I've got this one has little pockets in it. There, I think it is. No, oh, it's a chainsaw thing. So you can hook a chainsaw up to this new one, I'm sure, and it just fits in there. And that really hogs out a lot of material. I'm going to take all this stuff out since I know everything fits. And I will use that hard plastic case that this Proxxon, I think that's how you say that. Oh, here's the other green one. It's full, so I gotta take a wire brush to this, and it got dented. I don't know if you can see how that got dented. I don't know if that will affect it too much. I might need to fix that, or just buy a new one. I don't know. I think they're about $25 a piece. So I'm gonna make sure that I got everything out of this bag. Yep. And I am going to officially throw this out, this Merlin 2. It saddens me, but you know, it is what it is. I'm wondering if I could, you know, take some pieces off of it, maybe just cut this and keep this. But you see how this has got an independent switch? I think that might have been part of the problem. But they were like, oh, you can't get dust in here. Well, when you're sanding, guess what? You're gonna get dust. So I think I'm gonna cut this off, and this is 100% termination now. Done. And I'm pitching this out. And I'll tell you, because I make lamps and all kinds of things, and I can use this cable. So I've packed away in this new hard case a lot of the tools, which I think will be easier to get at. I don't know. I need to find a bag for these 3-inchers. But when you hook these on, the round thing isn't, so you've got some play, a little bit, because that just kind of cracked. And these are 80 grit, so this is pretty aggressive. You can see that one's pretty gummed up. Oh, and this is a cutter, a metal cutting wheel, which is nice for smaller jobs, but jobs that you need something like that. So that is an 80. I think all of these are 80. Yeah. So this one is beat. So I've got 3-inch also, but let me show you what I had in that little bag. It's 400, 120. That one's, it feels good here. The outsides get beat. Don't know what, well, I got 800. That's 180. I have used that a little bit, but it's still pretty good there. If you take off this piece, then you can use it flat. Actually, it is kind of flat, so you don't have to wear out the edges so much. I tend to wear out the edges because I'm doing a lot of shapes. And this one's 320, so they can order these accordingly to grit. And these are regular sandpaper. 600. These are different. These are like a mesh, and I bought these separate from this kit. But these you can kind of knock out the dust and use it, so they have a longer lifespan. But there's a 60 on that. There's the same thing, 120. These are the same. This is sandpaper, so 180. Whoops. Wrong way, 120. These are, well, I don't know. Oh, 600. So, I've got several of those. And then I've got, of course, that's out of the case. That might be, no, it's not it. Well, it's hard to tell. Of course, they're not marked. No. This is more like 800, I think. But this is, I think, a 60. I don't know, and a 120. So, and there's a 1200. So, very, very fine. 1200. No, wrong color. I think they might be color coordinated, so yeah, 600. $120, 60. Don't know. Don't think I have any 800s. Well, maybe these are, yeah, these are the 800s. I'm hoping to be more organized with this box. So, 800, 1200, 20, 60. This is 800, so I've got quite a few of these. That's 80, and it's right there. I got more mesh, 180. There are these 1200. So I can do some really fine work without going on forever with these things. 320. These are pretty cool, so you may want to buy some of these. I just suggest looking on Amazon because Amazon is easy. Now, a lot of people aren't real fond of Amazon, but, you know, they're easy. So, I'm sorry, but why not? That is beat. I can't even feel grit on that, so pitch that. 240. 240. Right in there. This one, I don't know. Color, I'm thinking 600. Maybe, I don't know. This one's kind of beat. I'll throw that out. This one's beat. You know, it is with grits. Here's a 400 and an 80. And the 1000 might be this one. I wish they'd marked them on the back. They don't. So these I'm throwing out. Okay. So I don't know if you can see all of these. They go all the way down from 80, 60. Well, 60, 80, 120, 180, 320, 400, 600, 800, 1200, and 2000. And keep in mind, these are really good to use. They last a long time in comparison to sandpaper. But I have sandpaper that goes from 1200, 800, 600, 400, 240, 180. I have one of those. This one's beat. I got 320 here, so 320, 240, and 180 that still has some life in it. Okay, so I'm going to show you. These are carbide tips, and they're pretty spiky. You can probably see how spiky that is, but that really hogs out a lot of material. This hogs out the most, but this chainsaw thing can be kind of irregular, but you have to be very, very careful. Kind of hold on with two hands when you're doing that, but you can always hog out areas with this. And these are grits that go down lower and lower. This is the most fine. I think I need to buy a new one of this. This is the finest, and it gets gummed up. You can see, whoops, it gets gummed up. You can see how gummed up that thing is now. Let's focus on that. Maybe like that. It's full of stuff. I'll try and get it out with a wire brush. I tried already, maybe soaking it in mineral spirits or something. Will anybody have any ideas? Let me know in the comments. I love to get help for these projects that I have. And they're plastic, these two things. And this one's a little stiffer than the yellow one. So it takes away like bark and areas, things like that. So you can see how this could use some fine tuning, and that green or yellow piece should take care of that. I'm just going to try it lightly because I don't want to ruin what I got here so far. And it may just clean up these other edges. But this is just such a beautiful piece of organic material. Then I have a buffer. I've used it, but I don't use it a lot. It's, I guess, for polishing more than anything. And there's tons of other things you can use. And you can see it's got that threaded piece on the end, which goes into this piece, and then that screws right into the underside, or the underside of this. Same way this one's screwed in. Actually, it's a little bit different, but it's easy to figure out. But I have 3-inch wide discs. I got a whole bag of those. I got a bag of these, which are kind of like buffers. They have that threaded piece on the back. I have smaller grits. I can't remember the grit on this. Feels like 80 maybe. Of course, no sign and I don't remember. But when I need finer grits, I use this tool here with this foamy thing. So when you go into a groove, it takes up some of the resistance and bends with your, I'll probably use it on that wooden bowl that I've worked on. But in here, it goes all the way from 80 to really fine, and some of it is this mesh stuff. Like this is a mesh. And anyway, there's different grits. So that goes, all of those, I got to organize those better, and I hope to do that with this box if I can. So that's about it. Lots of tools, and they fit. I'm so happy about that. So during the process of filming this, I turned the machine off and went to turn it back on again, and it didn't work, which sent chills through me because I was like, ugh, I hope this isn't a repeat of the Merlin 2. But I waited a few minutes, turned it back on, and it did come back on. So I thought maybe I'm okay. I'll try it later. Well, what I did was I called Proxxon and I talked with a technical rep there who told me that the battery really needs to be fully discharged before it can function at its truest capacity. So it was fully discharged. It's on a charge now. So I will try it again later and I will keep you posted on that. I'll leave a message in the comments if it doesn't work. When I try it again, if it does, don't worry about it. Assume it's okay. All in all, it's still a great little tool, easy to use, fits in my hand. I have a small hand. So there is a lot of benefits for it. You can do small work. It's not a two-handed tool. So I like it, and I hope you do too. By the way, I'm not being paid to say this about Proxxon. I just thought it would interest some people.